We're here out in front of the Ministry of Labour office in downtown Toronto on University Avenue, and there's a demonstration and rally regarding two Jamaican seasonal agriculture workers that died on September the 10th in a confined space accident just outside of Owen Sound, Ontario. The two workers, Ralston White and Paul Roche, died when they entered apple cider vat and died from the fumes, toxic fumes from that. And a number of organizations are here today, along with UFCW, demanding that the Ministry of Labour and the coroner's office move to a coroner's inquest into the tragic accidents of these two workers. We took the opportunity to use the Freedom of Information Act and actually find out from 2006, when the legislation came into effect for agriculture workers under OSHA, Occupational Health and Safety Act, to the end of 2009, how many inspector visits actually happened on farms. And what we found out was in 2006 they went to 102 different agricultural operations. 5 of those were actual farms. In 2007, they went to 179 agricultural operations. 10 of them were farms. In 2008, they went to 277 agricultural operations. 32 were farms. In 2009, they went to 123, and 24 of those were farms. The majority of the visits were veterinary hospitals, farm drainage companies, pet hospitals, very few farms at all. And we argue that those inspectors need to be on those farms and have a presence. And it's critical piece of enforcement and monitoring of what's happening with agricultural workers in this province.
It's something that we always have to keep in our minds. It has to be omnipresent that the amount of deaths that we hear about, the amount of injuries that we hear about, while the deaths might be on point in terms of the numbers and the reporting, the injuries and the deaths that happen when injured workers go back to their countries of origin are not on point. There's many, many, many people who die in silence who we don't know about because they're being repatriated, they're being sent home. It's the provincial government not stepping in to try and make things better, but they're acting in complicity with the federal government and with the Jason Kenney regime, which right now is trying to facilitate the entry of more migrant workers into Canada, but ensure that they have less rights while they're here.
On the farm, we were surrounded by farmers with different vegetable crops, so heavy pesticides were sprayed. We have become so accustomed to the spray that we were able to identify the spray being used by the smell. But yet we had to continue with our work. We would experience watery eyes, heavy chemical smells from which we would cover our nose, sneezing and coughing, itching and scratching, bleeding from the nostrils being my own experience, as well as many other workers. Whenever the farmer has to spray, all the workers would be asked to clean the sprayer, where chemicals and pesticides would be in direct contact with our hands and some would spill. On the farms, my coworkers, together with myself, have experienced very irritating and overbearing symptoms of sweating, skin bursting and breaking, bleeding, and nostril bleeding many times. Shame.